ado, we'd like to kick this thing off. I'd like to bring to the stage here Duke Ipa. Let's hear it for Duke Ipa. He's going to blow the conch for us and get us going.
This will work. Check. 1, 2, check. Can hear what? Okay. So you know how we do this, right? I say aloha, you go as loud as you can. Aloha! Oh, come on! I got the best shapers in the world right here! Aloha! That's better. The blowing of the poo is a call to the divine. A welcoming, a joining us all in this moment, in this time captured for all eternity.
Steve Handoran. Hey, Ron. So you get to hear it all, Nathan. Here we are with Ron, Steve, and Joyce Hoffman. And Zach and Art. Goodbye. Oh, I guess he's hung up on me. Hey, can I have my recorder? Yeah. And record everything you can. Yeah. Is there audio on this? Yes. Hey, Dave.
Without further ado, I'd like to introduce the founders of the International Surfboard Builders Hall of Fame, Mickey the Rat, Esther, and Bob the Greek Boland. Let's hear a big one for these guys. Thank you.
I'm Ron from Jack's Surf Shop, Huntington Beach. We want to donate $1,000 from Walk of Fame of Huntington Beach to Hall of Fame of the Shapers. Yeah. Love the Greeks so much here.
Why? He's ugly. What's there not to love? Well, is everybody ready? Okay. As I'd like to introduce ourselves, this is Bob Bullen the Greek from Greek Surfboards. I'm Mike Mickey Rad Esther. We are the co-founders of the International Surfboard Builders Hall of Fame. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to come do this, come be here, help us honor and induct all these incredible surfboard builders. Because without these guys, we would not have the tools to do what we do out there to hone our skills in uncrowded surf. I'd like to point out some of the notables that are in the crowd today. One of them is our mayor, Kim Carr. Right next to her is Barbara Del Gaze. We have Dave Garofalo. Steve Van Doren from Van's Shoes right here. Steve Pesman, are you here? He's here somewhere. Surfer Magazine. Brad Holden. Brad Holden is the son of Bill Holden. Bill's award was the first award in 2000, and he brings it back every year. It's a little patinaed, but we enjoy having that back here every year. Thank you, Brad. Let's see, where am I at here? Bob Steele. Bob Steele here. Hey, Bobby, how you doing? Michael Tilden, artist. Randy Lewis Surfboards. Randy needs to get inducted into this, so keep it in mind. Chewy, local artist, he's here. Bob McDonough, editor Surfing Magazine, right here. Peter Townend, first world champion surfer. Where's PT? There he is. Timmy Turner, our local surfing hero right here. Stand up, Timmy. And as you just heard, Ron from Jack's. Thank you, Ronnie. Appreciate it. That was awesome what you're doing for us. Also, another local, Brett Barnes from Duke's. Where's Brett? Brett, thank you, buddy, for all you do for us. Now I'd like to take just a couple seconds to honor the ones that we have lost this year. The first one is Rockin' Fig. And if you missed his memorial down here, that was incredible. I'm getting teary just think about it. His daughter, Janelle, yeah, is sitting right here. Can you stand up? Thank you for coming and representing your father. That's awesome. The other one, big name, Greg Knoll. What a loss. Another local from Seal Beach, Rich Harbor. And then this guy's son and daughter-in-law is here, and that is Ben Ipa. So without further ado, I'd like to turn this over to Greek, and we'll get it started.
This microphone over here, I think, is dead. Is it working?
Okay, well, can you hear me? No. Because I can't hear me, that's better. Ratchet's took, you just took all my lines.
Can't hear you. No, use the other one.
Grab the mic, don't drop it.
You did that on purpose.
Hello?
We only have a half a brain cell between us, but if we do this, then we can think.
We have a full brain cell when we do that. It's really good. So, I know. That's what you keep telling me. So, good morning, everybody. I got to read from the script. I'm Bob the Greek, and my good friend Mickey Rad Esther and I, along with everybody associated with the ISBHOF, would like to welcome to our 21st annual International Surfboard Hall of Fame induction. This is our 5th year holding it here in Huntington Beach. We used to be down at Doheny, and that worked out pretty good, but we wanted to bring it home, right, Rat? Bring it here, and we did a couple at the Surf Museum, but it got a little bit small, and so we came to the pier, which is great. With us today are some of the finest surfboard builders in the entire world. And without these guys and the other many board builders throughout the surfing world, throughout the surfing industry, Jack Surfboards probably wouldn't be here. Huntington Surf and Sport probably wouldn't be here. Greek Surfboards might not have been there. It says, if it wasn't, another thing I'd like to mention is that the boards that these guys shape generally turn out to be beautiful pieces of art that become more valuable over time. But it can be, and usually is, very lonely in that shaping room. Isn't that right, shapers? That's right. It's a labor of love. You get into that shaping room, there's nobody there, you got a lot of dust, you got some side lights to keep you company. And you got that planer going, and just a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, I have about a 5-pound weight. I'm sure you guys all have a weight, a brick or something to put on the board, right? Right? I call my weight Wilson. So anybody that comes up to the shaping room and they're holding the blank, their name for that shaping session is Wilson. I don't care who they are. So anyway, on the lighter side, my buddy Wrightman and I are very good friends, and we love to pick on one another. In fact, he tries to convince everybody that I'm uglier than him, and I always convince everybody else that yeah, see? Yeah, right. You ready? You ready? L, why? You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. You ugly. Your mama says you ugly. Your dog says you ugly.
The crowd says you're ugly.
But, okay. Ugly?
I paid them all $5.
I get 10%. I'm a real estate agent. Now, we're going to do, you know, do you see these awards right here? Okay, this guy right here, my good friend, Mickey Rat, we're going to do a special induction for him. He puts these things together. He came up with the very first one. We put everybody's names on them. We've been doing this since day one. And these things are absolutely gorgeous. So we've got a special induction coming just for Rat. Yeah. We took a vote of the board, and we decided that you needed an award because he never surfed, shaped a board, never had a shop, and we've got a special award just for Mickey Rat. Okay, Dave Reynolds, are you here?
No, I didn't make boards because I wanted to make money for a living.
Yeah, there's no money to surf for you, right? Well, anyway, Rat, we're going to hand you this award. We've got a T-shirt and a mug for you. Here, come on over here. And you have just been inducted. You're the first and only inductee into the International Ugly Man Hall of Fame. And here's your award.
You guys have to see the picture on this. He has a huge divot on his head.
He gets his own coffee mug.
I knew you.
You got to get up pretty early in the morning. I'm not just another pretty face.
Thanks a lot, Dave.
Here, hang on to this. Here, open that up. Oh no, you do. You're gonna. I'll guarantee you, he will wear this shirt with pride. He will drink his coffee out of that cup every single. And I want you to read the back. Where's the back? Okay, read it.
International Ugly Man Hall of Fame. Mike Mickey Esther, inducted October 9th. UGLY, you ain't got no alibi, you ugly. The whole world says you ugly.
How's that? So now there's no argument anymore. We know who's the ugly guy in the world, right? Oh, one more thing in the bag. I forgot. Oh no, there is. I got one more thing. Because we always had to come up with a way to hide the ugly.
Oh, I got my own bag. I don't get any eye holes.
No. See how that works? The place is a lot prettier now, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Not after you born it. All right. Now this is a commercial, okay? This is a real commercial. As many of you know, we've been holding this event for almost every year for the last 21 years. We have no budget. I mean, we really have no budget. We do this out of pocket. If you have not purchased your 2021 ISBHOF Collector T-shirt, please visit the tent and buy and get a T-shirt, a mug. We got these special mugs up there that has everybody's name, and it's really neat. And by the way, this year we have some long sleeve T-shirts, commemorative coffee cups, stickers, and this is our only fundraiser. This is how we'll pay for this thing next year. So we appreciate your help. And if you buy 2 T-shirts, you get a free poster. Doesn't get any better than that. So right now, we have former mayor of Huntington Beach, Jill Hardy, is going to come up and sing the national anthem for us. So if you'd all stand, that would be great. She's born and bred right here in Huntington Beach, correct?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That was incredible, Jill. Thank you. Woo. By the way, we have any veterans in the crowd? Right here? How many veterans we have here? How did that make you feel? I'm a Vietnam vet myself, so that's awesome. Thank you, Jill.
You need another large mic. So now I'd like to have Mayor Kim Carr come up and give us a few comments and introduce any of our hardworking government officials that may be in attendance.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bob and Mickey. I didn't know this was going to turn into a roast. But anyways, hi everybody. I'm Mayor Kim Carr, and it's really thrilling for me to be here talking about something positive and all good about Huntington Beach for a change in this past week. And I really just want to thank so much Bob Bullen and Mickey for putting this event together and bringing it here in Huntington Beach. So thank you so much. We are Surf City, and this is where this should be held. So thank you. And really, at this point, I wanted to just acknowledge the Shapers. I've been married to a surfer for 24 years, and my husband Steve is here. And I will tell you, there's very few events that my husband likes to go to. And when I told him I was going to this one and told him what it was for, he's like, oh, I'm going to that one. So, and I think it really speaks to how the Surfboard Shapers are truly the unsung heroes when it comes to surfing. And if anybody was watching the US Open of Surfing last week on TV, and believe me, we had it glued onto our house 24/7. Time and time again, they were talking about how the shapers really have changed the art of surfing, and that really is sort of that fine line of everybody has incredible talent, but who has the best boards for the right conditions? And I've heard from my husband many times about once in a while you get that magic board, and that magic board you want to just keep it and then just keep trying to get that same one over again. And I've also learned when you're married to a surfer, you never have enough boards. So there's 1,001. So today it's a real honor to recognize everybody who's being inducted today: Will Allison, Gene Cooper, Walter Hoffman, Mark Richards, Ed Seiko, Bill Stewart, and Don Ichimura. Thank you so much. And I just want to also acknowledge a few people in the room. Mayor Pro Tem Barbara Del Glaze, a huge fan of the surfing community, has been a great partner to have. Former Mayor Jill Hardy, who's also another big advocate for our surfing community. She's done nothing but. Former Mayor Dave Garofalo, another huge advocate for our surfing community. But last, before I turn the mic over, today is October 9th, and the City Council declared this day to be Rock and Fig Day. And that's why I have the shirt on. And Chanel, it's so great to see you today. And we had a really big event planned for Rock and Fig Day as part of Surf City Days, and unfortunately we had to cancel it this weekend. But rest assured, this will be rescheduled, and then going forward indefinitely, in perpetuity, thank you. You know, I haven't had my coffee this morning. We are going to be having Rock and Fig Day every day, and that was one of the things that the City Council approved unanimously, was to make sure that we never forget Rock and Fig. So let's just, if it's okay with you, that we have a, oh, I know my other one. It's front and back. It's a custom shirt that was made. So if it's okay with you, Bob, if we just had a quick moment of silence to recognize Fig. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for the surfing community. I love this community, and I'm so grateful that we can come together and celebrate one another. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Bob, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor Todd. And we'll have you back up in a little bit to give those awards out. Okay. Now, I'm going to introduce Mickey Ratt one more time. Oh, PT, I got to recognize Peter Townend, Director of the International Surf Museum. And he's floating around here somewhere. I know. He's got something pink on, I'm sure. Everything pink, right? Oh, and over here, you know what the #1 rule in surfing is, don't you? Can't make the peak without a Greek. You better start increasing that quiver. This is my very good friend. We couldn't pick on each other like we do if we weren't very good friends. And he's going to give us a brief history of the event, why it happened and everything. Or did we already do that?
We didn't do that. We're still on script. Yeah, I'm sure all of you have heard the story before, but there's some of you that probably haven't heard it. In early 2000, Greek and I were on our way out of churches down south from a surf session, and we got a phone call that one of the legend board builders had passed away. And so I just started thinking about after the phone call, and I told Greek, I said, Greek, somebody needs to do something to get these guys recognized. This is the history of our sport right here. These guys have never been recognized for all their time in that shaping room blowing foam. And so he looked at me and he goes, somebody's got to do it. And I said, okay, what? And he goes, I don't know, let's start it. And I said, us? How? I don't know, we're just going to do it. So we came up with this. We found out that Bill Holden, we got an invitation to his birthday party down in Laguna, and we inducted him as the first inductee for the International Surfboard Builders Hall of Fame. I had about a week to haphazardly put his award together right here. Let me grab it real quick. So this one is 21 years old now, and it's pretty patinaed. And then we set it up to where we took the favoritism and politics out of it, as having these inductees pick the inductees for the next year. And what a better way to get inducted than by your peers. And so that's the way we set it up. There's a lot of people that always get a hold of Greek and I and say, well, this guy should be inducted, this guy should be inducted. You're right. But this is the way we set it up, as it being the most fair. And the one that I can think of that's in the crowd here that should be inducted and is well deserving of it is Randy Lewis, our local shaper from right here. He needs to get picked. We can't do it. It's just food for thought. But so here we are, 21 years later. I never thought it was going to get to this. Greek, I think we started something. So anyway, it's been a labor of love doing this for the past 21 years. Actually, I got a year off last year. It's been 2 years since we've been here. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Anyway, that's the history of it. I'm going to turn it back over to Greek.
Well, that's almost all the history. I gotta educate him. We weren't close enough. When we delivered Bill Holden's award to him at his birthday party down at his house, you want to continue the story? Okay.
Okay. I thought you were going to do it, but anyway, when we showed up at Bill's house, he had a crowd of this much, at this many people at his birthday party. He didn't know anything about it. Greek and I had called him up to his back porch, him and his wife, and we told him why we were there. I had his award in a brown paper sack and took it out. We presented it to him. His wife instantly started crying. And then I turned around to Greek and I said, Greek, did we do something bad? And he goes, no, I think we did something good. And then all of a sudden I see tears falling down Bill's face and how excited he was. And that started it right there. So, pretty proud. Are you pretty proud, Brad? Brad Holden, Bill's son, right up here, and he brings us back every year. Thank you, Brad.
Well, as Bill was walking around with this award, he was beaming, and everybody just couldn't believe what was going on. But Bill wouldn't let anybody touch that award, would he, Ryan? He'd show it to them, but he wouldn't let them touch it. They couldn't touch it. So it was really a neat thing, and we did. On the way home, we just looked at each other and said, yeah, I think we started something here. And Bill was a very good friend of mine. My first board was a Bill Holden surfboard. I bought my first blank from Bill Holden, and I'd never watched anybody shape in my life, and he gave me a deal on a board. And and most of the guys here that are shapers were surfers first, and then they became surfboard builders. So anyway, that's why we're here today. So thank you very much, Ratman, and for that story. I'll let you put that back. Now we'd like to introduce our fantastic board members. Kauhiho Okano, where are you? You're around here still? Where'd he go? He was here. What? Oh, there he is. Okay, Kauhi. Moved over to Kauai, huh? Okay. And Bruce Gabrielson's our East Coast rep. Bruce Gabrielson helps us get the East Coast guys every year. And he's a board shaper also, had a company out here in town for a while. Dwight Dunn. Where's Dwight Dunn? Dwight Dunn is a great help to us. And we just really appreciate having Dwight Dunn as on our board. And Tony Soriano is on our board also, wherever he is. Oh, he's hiding back there. Okay, Tony. And is Dick Metz here? I heard he might be coming, but I don't know if he made it. Okay. And we have one more board member up there on the camera is Ray Bond. And he's done a phenomenal job with our website. If you ever get to go to the website at ISBHOF.com, Ray just does that. He does it out of pure love, and he's phenomenal at doing it. So we couldn't have what we have without Ray Bond. So, and then we have our event directors, Don Ramsey. Is Don Ramsey around here somewhere? Where is he? Oh, he's hiding way over there. You can't hide over there, Don. You have to be back down here again. Come on. Yeah, don't point and say I'm here. Yeah. Yeah. And then we have Dave Reynolds. Where's Dave? And Dave makes trophies for a living. If you ever need an award or a trophy, and there's a perfect example of his work here somewhere. Where did it go, Rat? You got it hidden? Oh. So, and by the way, Don Ramsey is a member of the world famous. He is so famous that Don Ramsey, world famous lead singer, lead guitar player for the famous Ramsey Brothers Band. And that guy's like a little Energizer bunny. I've never seen anybody do anything.
You know, I thought I had a lot of energy, but Don, he is like the Tesla of energy. So Don, without you, we couldn't possibly even do this. Thank you, buddy. I love you.
And then we have a lot of other, I don't know, did we recognize all the board? You got Randy Lewis and the Don Monson show. Bruce Gabrielson over here, he's a board shaper. And I don't know if Doc Lausch is here. Oh yeah, and there he is over there with the black hat and everything. And he shapes a mean board, that guy. He's doing a lot of them too right now. And Duke Ipa is another great shaper. I don't know if Rocky McKinnon's here, but he's another good shaper. And Dennis Choate, he was going to come, but he hurt his ankle and he couldn't make it. Dennis is a great board shaper and a boat builder. And then, hang on. And then we got the Willis brothers right here. Stand up. Now, the funny thing is, if they change name tags, you'll never know. They're twins. And these guys rode big waves, they shaped big boards, big guns, and everything else. Very supportive of the surfing world, and just a couple of really nice guys. Yep. So anyway, you having fun, guys? Support with the t-shirts, I like that. So today we have some past inductees, and would you all stand up? Does everybody stand up? Let's go. Okay, inductees. Okay, we've got Jim the Genius Phillips. Come on up here and grab a seat. Jeff Ho, come on up here and grab a seat. They'll never come back now. They're again sitting there. You got a seat in the back row there. That's good. Right in the back. Yeah, just hop up in the back there. And we got Bob Pearson over here. Bobby Pearson, Pearson Hour Surfboards came all the way down from Santa Cruz to be here today. You know, we got Richard Wilkin over there. Come on, Richard. We've got around here somewhere. We got Mickey Munoz. That's inductee, the Mongoose. Now let's see if I miss anybody. Who else? Who's is here? Where? Oh, yeah, that's right. This guy right here, I'll tell you. When we inducted Greg Lohr, I had no clue who this guy was. I'd never met him. He's the East Coast guy, you know, and everything else. And as soon as he came in, he was inducted up at the Surf Museum, right? And everybody just ran past me to go say hi to Greg Lohr. I'm going, who the heck is this guy? But anyway, I'm shrinking. So this, do we need another chair up there somewhere? Oh, you got a chair on the end. Okay, great. Herbie Fletcher, where are you? Come on, Herbie, grab over, get over here on this. You can come up in a minute. Grab a seat up there with those guys.
Greg Lohr and the Willis brothers.
And the Willis brothers, absolutely. Now, did I miss anybody else? Come on, I'm getting old. Okay, is that it? Wayne Rich, exactly. Come on, Wayne, get over here. You got it. Wayne Rich, famous Ventura surfboard builder up there, and does a great board. Hey, Wayne, is my board ready yet? The blank hasn't come in yet, or? Anyway. Yeah, that's what he's thinking. Ain't gonna have it. You know, this is such a great group of guys, a great group of shapers, and these guys combined have shaped thousands and thousands and thousands of surfboards between them. And when we bring up the other inductees, it's just that number grows exponentially. They're just phenomenal craftsmen, and it's a pleasure to induct these people into this wonderful organization. So we have, we got everybody here is, okay, great. And at this time, we'd like to introduce to all of you our inductees and have Kalani Akui present them with their leis, Hawaiian style. Introduce Tina Louise, our fantastic flower girl. Tina, get out there and wave at her. Come on, lady, you're in the shade. Okay? So, first off,
Tina does a lot of work, as you can see, putting these together. So, Tina, thank you so much. Appreciate it. You deserve it.
but I got to tell you, this is probably one of my favorite awards. He leaned over to me and goes, "You really got me this time." So, what we'd like to do is we have Miss Huntington Beach here. She's going to start escorting our people up. And our first one is Will Allison. Come on, Will. Get over here. And Jim Phillips, come on down here. You're going to talk. You're going to talk a little bit about Will Allison, I think. No, wait till they're all done. You don't get out of it, do you? Oh, Cowie. Cowie, come on. Where'd you go? You got to do your job. Get over here and explain the ha. We're going to give you the microphone so you're not going
Well, anyway, I'm sorry we kind of went off a script here, but the Greek.
Kauhi, he used to have, go ahead, get it, a silk screening company up in Garden Grove. And we got to be very good friends. When I first met him through Dwight Dunn, I brought in a little box of 36 t-shirts to print. And here's these big giant trucks delivering all this Nike stuff. And I said, one day maybe I'll bring in a truckload that big. It never happened, but he helped us design this logo with his graphic guys, and this logo is really something else. And what does that say in Hawaiian down underneath? Do you remember?
I can't read it.
Oh, okay.
Put on my glasses.
Honoring the past to preserve the future in Hawaii.
So, yeah, thank you very much. A big hand to Rat and the Greek for putting this together for the last 22 years, Greek? 21 years, yeah. It's amazing. So, big hand to them. So, my name's Kauhi Ho'okano. I'm from Kauai, and Greek asked me to come up and explain some things to you guys. So I thought I'd say something about the ha. And a lot of us have heard the word, but may not really understand what the true translation of ha is. Have anybody? Some of you guys. There's a lot of Hawaiians here, a lot of Howleys here. Anyway, to make it quick, so I don't keep this going. Ha means the breath of life. So when you hear ha, as in aloha, mahalo, Hawaii, haole, it's all kind of a similar translation. Ha being the breath of life, and with that, I think let's do a demonstration with brought over here. So we're going to do the ha. We're going to exchange the breath. And that's the whole thing about the ha. So speaking of ha, aloha, L-O-A, A-L-O, I'm sorry, means the present, to follow, to go with. And the ha is the breath, or the spirit, the mana. So, aloha. Hawaii, ha, again, it's the presence of breath. Vai is the fresh water, and I is the supreme God, Hawaii. And then now we come to haole. Now, what is holiday? Everybody thinks as a tourist that comes off the plane, kind of a negative connotation, but it's not. It's a person without breath. They come and they shake your hand. They don't give you the breath. So it really is a person, a foreigner without breath. So when somebody calls you holiday, they're not really disparaging you. You're just a visitor that shakes hands. So basically that is the whole thing about the ha. And ha is very integral, very central to the Hawaiian culture and the language. So whenever you're talking about Hawaiian, Hawaii, aloha, mahalo, holidays, you're talking about the ha. And that's basically what it is. So, thank you.
Get a picture of that. Somebody get a picture of that.
Yes, we would. There's one other person out here that was not recognized, Lisa Peterson, right over here, the daughter of Pete Peterson, and we'd like to get her to come up here also. A great San Onofre regular, now lives in Oregon, I think, right? Part of the time.
Yeah, part of the time in Oregon, part of the time in Canada. I spend as much time in San Onofre as possible.
Yes, she does. Ever since she was a young kid, right?
Yeah, well, my mom surfed San Onofre pregnant with me. So I've been in that water a long time.
Well, jump up here and have a seat with these guys. You know, so. Anyway, so Will Allison is up here, and Jimmy Phillips, are you gonna talk about him a little bit, or who is? Who? Oh, Greg, come on up here, Greg. You're gonna talk a little bit about him, and yeah, well, he's right here. Where'd he go? Come on, get up here, Will. Go over there. Way over here. Walk the red carpet. Take him arm in arm. Put your arm around him. You know, make him look good. Well, we have Miss Huntington Beach. And the beautiful young lady right here came down to help us out, you know, and just to make the whole event look better, because when you put the three of us together, you can see why we need her. So Will is a famous East Coast board builder, and we've got Greg Lohr is going to come down and tell us a little bit about him.
So I'd never met Will, and 50 years ago, this coming summer, we went on a surf trip. We were riding for Dino, which is a little company a couple blocks over that way. And we were representing the East Coast along with Charlie Baldwin and Kim McNair. And we had a great summer traveling up and down the East Coast, and Will was just great. Just this stylish, classy type surf, and all four of us ended up making boards. And Will being here today shows one thing, that nice guys can finish first.
Thank you, Greg. And so anyway, well, you got, where's his award? Right here. Well, let's get, what? Your what? Oh, yeah, have a little speech. But let's get your award first, okay? Yeah, stand there. Miss Huntington Beach, you want to come over and grab the award and give it to him? Or Rat can do it. Yeah. Oh, Bob and Nona. You're supposed to come up too? Come on. I think Bob has a few words he wants to say about you too. I don't know if I should vet it first, but here you go.
It might be a few more than a few words. I figured that a lot of people wouldn't know Will, so I actually wrote something that's a little bit longer than Greg's. But Will, Greg, and I all met together in '74. Well, I met Will before that, in which you'll hear about momentarily. So Will's been shaping surfboards for well over 40 years, and he's still shaping today. I first met Will in '73 when I moved into a home on Huelo Street, Sunset Point, on Oahu's North Shore. As I was from New York, Will and I had been surfing on the East Coast in common, and we fast became friends, surfing, listening to music, and hanging out in the country. My year in Hawaii ended in October of '74 when I took a job at Surfing Magazine here in the Orange County, but Will stayed on the 7-mile Miracle for another year before returning to North Carolina, earning his Bachelor of Science degree in Marine Biology at University of NC Wilmington, making the Dean's List. Will continued to travel to the islands to surf, but eventually he needed to put his degree to good use. When a former university professor called with a job opportunity in Louisiana, Will moved to Baton Rouge, where he worked for Odom Offshore Surveys as a navigator on a ship in the wheelhouse next to the captain. Will spent 3 years plotting locations to place divers and platforms, a job requiring technical precision, which he obviously put to good use making boards eventually. Will made frequent trips to Florida to ride a few waves during time ashore. One of those trips he reconnected with Pete Dooley, who Will had met surfing and judging contests on the East Coast. Pete had begun natural art surfboards in Melbourne Beach. He suggested Will get a blank from East Coast Foam, some resin, and shape himself a board. Will picked up rail cuts from a Greg Lohr shape. Greg had been working for Pete Shaping at the time. And after returning to Baton Rouge, he shaped, airbrushed, and glassed his first board. As you may guess, that board rode really well. Will continued working in Louisiana, 3 weeks on the water, 2 weeks ashore, and making boards. He rented a place in St. Augustine, Florida, where he was able to visit many times that next year. He and his roommate, Tommy Mercer, made boards under the house, and you guessed it, those boards rode really well too. Will began making and selling boards for his friends and landed his first wholesale account, Island Surf Shop in St. Augustine. Eventually, Will moved south to New Smyrna Beach, began working in Charlie Baldwin's factory, CB Surfboards, where Will's productivity increased and he was able to take on a few more wholesale accounts. Those trips to Florida not only enabled Will to launch a career in surfboard shaping and building, but he made many lifelong friends, Pete Dooley, Greg Lohr, and Charlie Baldwin, among many of them. North Carolina called Will to return to his birthplace, where his parents had a large piece of waterfront property on Middle Sound, just over from Wrightsville Beach, where Will set up his shaping room and a tractor shed and on the property, and began to build his business selling to many surf shops nearby. He continued making trips to Hawaii, Costa Rica, Ecuador, surf and source balsa, as there was a high demand for Will's balsa boards, as well as nose and tail blocks that he was putting on many customs. Along the way, Will met the woman of his dreams, and Karen and Will wedded in 1987. They eventually moved into the family home, built a separate small office with a view of the Intercoastal and Figure 8 Island. And from his yard, Will would take one of his boats to find the best spots to pick oysters and dig clams, which I did many times with him. Will and Karen have a lovely Southern belle, Bonnie, who will be married in the summer of '72. And Bonnie asked me, her Uncle Bob, to ask that I perform their marital ceremony. Will's surfboard business continued to grow as he became the local in-demand shaper for customs of all sizes, shapes, and designs. His seahorse logo, which I have one at home on my wall, was created by Thomas Hughes in 1989, and Will eventually found an overseas supplier to add mother-of-pearl inlays into his logo and on pin lines on his boards. Over 40 years of shaping, Will crafted over 10,000 surfboards until finally retiring from commercial shaping in December 2020. Will is still, however, shaping his own quiver in Hawaii, where Will and Karen retired and now live. And Will surfs every single day. Will was inducted into the East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame in the class of 2006, and I'm honored to introduce Will to you and be inducted into the International Surfboard Builders Hall of Fame now in 2021.
Thank you, Bob. Okay, next up, in fact, he is next up. Oh, I'm sorry. Huh? Oh, okay. I expected bell-bottom pants, but.
I've got some still somewhere. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm smiling like a mule eating briars because I am happy. Happy to be included in a group of people I have looked up to all of my life. I started my lifetime learning curve back in 1977 in Bayou Manchac in Louisiana. I moved to Florida and eventually really began shaping and designing surfboards in North Carolina. The more I worked in the business, the more interesting it became. It remains the most satisfying hard work I have ever done. It slowly started to become my life's work, and to be honored in this way is one of the greatest achievements of my lifetime. I would like to thank my wife Karen for all of her encouragement and for putting up with me and all of the foam dust and all the wood shavings that always seem to make their way into our home. Thanks for all the customers that believed in me and gave me the opportunity to become a better shaper and designer. It has been a wonderful life with lots of adventures and filled with lifetime friendships with some of the greatest people all over the world. Thank you, Greek and Rat, for creating this tradition and for making a place for us. Mahalo and much aloha. I love you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Will, and congratulations and welcome to the group. Next up, we have Walter Hoffman.
Yeah.
Come on up, Walter. Walter Hoffman's an amazing man right here. I'll let Herbie tell you all about him.
All right, Walter Hoffman, one of the godfathers of surfing. Early days of Makaha, he came and he surfed. He took pictures and wrote letters and sent photos home to all his friends to get them to Makaha to go surfing. And he built boards. The boards today, the big wave paddling surfboards, still have some of his outlines. They do great. Meeting Walter for the first time, I went to his house to pick up my wife, Dibby, and there was Phil Edwards and Terry Martin there. And they were talking surfing and surfboards. And so it was natural for me. Walter was the coolest man I've ever met. Anyway, he started surfing Makaha in the early days, and then he came back to California and helped Hobie start shaping surfboards and manufacturing with the new aerospace materials like fiberglass and resin and the new waterproof glues. Anyway, Walter's been the best. And so one time he comes by and says, "Hey Herbie, you want to go to Bali?" I go, "Oh yeah, I got to ask Dibby though." So he takes me to Bali and for the first time, and all he said was, "I want to ride the tube." And he wants to ride the tube. And he sat out at Padang Padang, 8 foot, and he got the wave. He got the wave. Stay in the tube and don't look back. My father-in-law, Walter Hoffman. Yeah. Let's give him a hand.
Surfing has been a great thing for my life. I really appreciate surfing in the ocean and be free with nature out there.
and surfing is my whole life. Thank you, God, for giving it to us.
Thank you, Walter. You've been a blessing to the surfing world. And also, we have his daughter, Joyce Hoffman. I'd like you to say some words, please.
Thank you very much. I know this means a tremendous amount to my dad, particularly at this point in his life. So thank you for all showing up. God bless you.
The greatest woman surfer in the world, Joyce Hoffman, stylish Makaha surfer. And also Christian Fletcher, my son. He started the aerial revolution, riding his skateboard on the water. Yeah. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Ron, for all the support out there, getting this thing going. If it wasn't for Walter, we'd still be in the Stone Age. Hey, Christian, where are you, buddy? Here we go. Here's the man, the one and only.
Hey, how's it going? I just wanted to share a quick story about going surfing, what it was like going surfing with my grandpa and my dad and stuff as a kid. We'd be going down to Mexico, and me and my little brother would get blindfolded in the car, sitting in between those two in a truck. And it wasn't so we wouldn't tell our friends where we went surfing, it was so we couldn't tell our friends where we went surfing. And those are some of the best times of my life. Thank you. Thanks, Grandpa.
Yeah, Christian. So I want you all to know that when Walter came back from Hawaii, he brought the Aloha Spirit and the Prince, and with all the servicemen, they brought the floral prints back, and Walter got everybody started, you know, like George Downing going to Balboa, Catalina, and Laguna Sportswear. But he helped start OP, Quicksilver, and many others, you know, and he's still going. He has a large art department that does a lot of surf work. He's a great man. Let's see who else. I guess I'm getting the hook here. Okay, love you all. Here you go.
Here you go. Who's this? Gene Cooper. It looks like Gene Cooper's up next. Come on, Gene. Well, you know, I just have to, it's so much fun for me to see Joyce Hoffman, because back in the day, she was the best. She surfed big waves, small waves, won tons of contests. Oh, did we give him the small? Oh. Fix that jacket.
Gene, she sure makes you look good.
And Steve Van Doren.
Well, the sad thing is rap might make him look good. I don't know.
Sign this one too. Greg.
Well, anyway, Gene Cooper. Let me find my notes on Gene Cooper. Who, we got somebody here to talk for you? Who? Rich? Jimmy? Jimmy Phillips. Come on, take the mic. You're up. Well, yeah, talking in class. You're going to have to go to timeout. You know that.
This is my pal, Gene Cooper. Gene came onto my radar about 20 years ago when I would drop by the Longboard Grotto and look at the boards there. I was making surfboards Hawaiis for them, and I would see these Cooper fish in there. And looking them over, I couldn't find anything wrong with them anywhere. No little milk air in the fin ropes, the glass jobs were flawless, the sanding, the polishes, and it'd still be years before I'd wind up meeting this guy. And I gotta say, He's a surfboard craftsman, a hell of a man, and a great human being. You've done a lot for your community being a firefighter, and it's been great knowing you. And working next to you down in Encinitas was a really good spread in my life there. So without further ado, Mr. Gene Cooper.
Thanks, Jim. I really appreciate it. I worked, like Jim said, next to him in the next shape room over, and I learned a lot from him. It was very enlightening. Little tricks, many expletives. He would string them together in a way that I'd never heard before. Something goes wrong in the shape room, we all have a little case of Tourette's. I think everybody probably has the same experience. But Jim is a creative genius in this area. So I just want to give props to you, Jim, for teaching me all those new words. It was fantastic. Also, Barry Hahn, I want to thank him for bringing the surfboard that they asked us to bring and display. And I like that one particularly because he rides it every day. And it's 20 years old and holding up, so I'm pretty proud of that. And then also, I'd like to thank my friends that came. I'll Venmo you. And most of all, I'd like to thank Lance Carson, who couldn't make it today. Good friend of mine. And lots of friends we make in surfing, and he's one of them, and all these people are some of them. So anyway, thank you very much.
Congratulations, Gene Cooper. Is my board done yet? I love asking the guys that. If I want a board, is it done yet? No, I get the same answer. No, not yet. So next up, PT, come on down here for a minute. We've got our next inductee couldn't make it. He's locked down in Australia. Did that thing? Could we get the noise on it somehow? Did it work? Oh, jeez. So anyway, our next inductee is Mark Richards, and Mark Richards sent us over a note. And the interesting thing for me before PT takes over, because PT knows him, I've really never met him, but the thing he said in here was he had a vision in mind of how he wanted his surfboards to look, but didn't have the planer skills to create it. It all changed in 1977 when he was 20 years old. He stayed on after the Hawaiian contest season to shape with and learn from Dick Brewer. He gave him tuition. He showed him the process with the planer and hand tools to create the board to match the vision in his mind. And he was the single greatest influence on his shaping career, and he wouldn't have become the shaper he is today without Dick Brewer sharing his knowledge. And the nice thing is that we had an impromptu induction here the other day, and we got to induct Dick Brewer for just about a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to turn it right over to PT. Oh, we're going to try it?
We got a video from Mark Richards. We're going to try. Hear it?
Anyway, he sent a nice video. We're going to try and convert that to something that we can show maybe in the Surf Museum, not a long one, but he was really excited about it. But anyway, PT knows him way better than any of us here, and we're going to turn it over to PT. Thanks.
And I'll keep it short, but actually I only found out I was accepting for MR about an hour ago because his good mate Greg Wade, who, if you remember, MR was a victory guy for many years. And Greg was going to do his acceptance today, but just quickly, I've known MR since we were young teenagers growing up. I lived in Coolangatta with the famous places, Snapper Rock, Superbank, and Kira, and MR would come up for school holidays with his dad, and they bought a unit. And so we started surfing together when we were young teenagers, and both of us ended up of course, being peers and competitors. But in those days, we made our own boards. That's what's huge today. I don't think there's anyone on the World Championship Tour today that actually rides their own boards. But in those days, we all made our own boards, and so we'd shape, and then we'd use other guys like Dick Brewer, and in my case, Mike Eaton was making my boards for the North Shore, and Tom Parrish, another one that needs to be in this Surfboard Builders Hall of Fame for sure. But it's interesting, MR would, first thing he'd do would just thank all of you surfboard shapers, the brethren. That's what he would do, I know, because he loves his shaping. He still has his house at MR Weather Point, Merriweather Point, with a shaping room in the back. He's still shaping surfboards today, and of course, his influence from Reno Abalira to make twin fins changed the whole dynamics of surfing in my era, which led to Simon having to build a thruster because no one could beat MR on his twin fins. So I accept this on behalf of my friend MR, and I will make sure that he gets his trophy when I go to Australia next, which I'm not sure when that's going to be because COVID still has us in lockdown.
Next up, we got Ed Sakel. Where's Ed Sakel? Come on, Ed. Come on over here. Ed Sakel's one of our local guys right here. I'm going to read this, Ed. His love for surfing began back in 1959. He was 10 years old, so I'm way older than he is. He would rent surf mats in Hermosa Beach. Then he got his first real surfboard at 15, joined the Boy Scouts, and he would take them on surf trips. Riding at big waves, he took trips down to Killer Dana, which was a great place. Mickey, you remember? Killer Dana. I surfed with you a few times there, and that was fun. I think even Dick Dale surfed there every now and then, so that was great. So Ed started entering WSA contests and rode for Greg Knoll's surf team. In '71, Greg introduced Ed to Craig Tsukihara of Town & Country Surfboards, and Craig invited Ed to come to Hawaii and shape surfboards in his new shop in Pearl City. Ed lived on the North Shore at Sunset Beach and Velsleyland. When he wasn't in Pearl City making boards, he'd be surfing the North Shore. Ed also worked for Greg Knoll, Mystic Surfboards, and Lightning Bolt while on the island. This was the beginning of his love for the craft of building surfboards. Back on the mainland, Ed's good friend Eddie Talbot was opening a new shop, ET Surfboards, in Hermosa Beach. Eddie called Ed in Hawaii and offered him to come help him build boards. Ed headed home and shaped boards for ET in his garage. He ended up working for ET for over 15 years. Ed began a family with his wife Sandy and 3 kids. Are they here? Come on up. Come on up. Bring it. Come on up here. Come on. Japers, creepers. Come on. You got to be proud of Dad. Tristan, Sean, and Ryan. With more responsibility, he took his passion for building boards to the next level. He started glassing, shaping factory, then later opened his own surf shop, Bullet Surfboards in Huntington Beach. In '91, he moved his current location in downtown Huntington Beach, right on the 2nd block, and renames the store Sakel Surfboards, right there. Ed began to teach the craft to his son Ryan. When he was about 5, he would bring home scraps of foam and sandpaper for him to mess around with, and eventually gave him a blank to shape on his own. Both Tristan and Ryan surfed in NSSA contests, and Ryan eventually became a pro surfer. Ryan also started his own brand of surfboards, Ryan Seiko Surfboards, carrying on the legacy of Seiko. Ed's daughter, Shauna, right here, you can find her. She works, it's like slave labor. He makes her work in that shop. She's there every day, you know. She's worked at the shop at 16 for several years, and today is now running the store as a shop manager. And you can always find Ed in the shop on Saturdays, chatting with customers, talking about his latest shapes, and during the week Ed is building boards from start to finish, and all in his own factory. Ed is now enjoying teaching the third generations of surfers in the family to his grandkids. Ed, congratulations, and welcome aboard. Good to have you. And well, you're really in it. And I'm thinking, who the heck is Ed Seiko? You know. And he told me, here, I guess we surfed against each other in a contest, and he smoked me. So anyway.
Yeah, I met the Greek at Golden West in a contest, and he was beating me the whole time. And then a big set came in, closeout. I took off on it, got barreled, got over the falls, but they gave me just enough points to beat him, so I was really stoked. Greek was on the beach throwing sand, kicking his board. He was pissed, but yeah, I was really stoked. That was the first time I met him. I didn't know how rowdy he was, but anyways, I'm really proud of my family, my daughter running the shop, my son, my wife putting up with me with all the foam dust and sand and crap in our house. But she has the dogs, so she raises Australian Shepherds. Anyways, I'm really glad to be here and thankful for all my customers, everybody that showed up. I'll make it short. Thanks.
Congratulations again, Ed. And you got your backpack right there. Now the backpack has his, just hang on to it. No, keep all of it. You hang on to it. That's right. They might. I'm still ticked at that contest. You know? So, anyway, yeah. Just grab a seat right here. You're good. Now, I don't think that Bill Stewart made it here, did he? Is he here? Well, where is he? Bill, come on down here. I never did see you. You're next up.
I got a little story about Bill. In 2016, when we had the event at the museum, Bill was there at the event. So him and I had a little talk story, and I said, Bill, how come you haven't been inducted yet? I said, who did you piss off? And he said, Mickey, I've pissed off a lot of people. So finally, he gets to get in this elite club of surfboard builders, and we are so stoked.
You gotta dance up here. Come on, Bill. You gotta dance a little. You got it. More hula. Well, come on. Yeah, bring him on over here. Come on. Well, I'm just going to read from the script here. Bill Stewart is known in his own mind, I think, but as the father of modern longboard. And let me see, smile. It did get those teeth fixed. Okay, great. Have you ever seen the picture of him and the band from the Haggerty's Club and those guys? Oh, gee, it's really something. He was born in Bowling Green, Kentucky, 1951. His family relocated to Florida when he was a young man, a toddler actually, in the summer of '64. At age 12, Bill caught his first wave, one that would lead to a journey covering thousands of surf breaks and 120,000 plus surfboards. Before all that could happen, he needed a board. Bill started mowing lawns to buy his first board, a 9.2 Hobie. And how many guys have Hobies? I know Rhett has a Hobie hanging in his house. He excelled in his high school art class. He's a heck of an artist. I've seen some of his work. But when the bell rang, he lived to surf. After graduation, he bought a '63 Ford van for $500, split for California. He landed in Encinitas and quickly became a regular at Swami's. Nearly every day he'd find Bill carving the point on his favorite board, a 5'6" plastic fantastic twin fin. Surfing his way north up the coast, he found himself in the dream spot, San Clemente. It's here that Bill landed his first real job at Rick James Surfboard Factory. He paid his dues there sanding and polishing boards while learning everything he could about the art of shaping. And he's done a really good job of learning that art, let me tell you. '78, Bill started his label, Stewart Surfboards, opened his first shop in Laguna Beach, hand shaping, hand painting, taking orders and airbrushing t-shirts and hats. Bill was a one-person surf shop in his tiny store. Still living to surf, he was stoked that he was able to transition his passion for surfing into a career. As Bill's notoriety grew in the surfing world, he put together a world-class team of pro riders, including Mike Parsons, Pat Allen, Shane and Gavin Beshing. In the mid-'80s, while Ronald Reagan was busy fighting the Cold War, Bill's fighting the idea that longboards can't be high performance. That's when Bill, inventive mind, came up with a design that forever changed surfing. He belled-railed hydro hull with a distinctive single to double concave bottom and a 2+1 fin setup. Faster, harder turning, and a full of pop, the design is the gold standard for today's performance longboard. With the hydro hull's success, Stewart Surfboards grew exponentially, and Bill was able to open a shop in his beloved San Clemente. I'm still there, right? Same place? Yeah, okay, great. This shop, a local icon, is going on 36 plus years, strong and ingrained in the local surf culture. With 40,000 plus boards he's personally shaped and continuing on, and well over 120,000 Stewart Surfboards produced around the globe. Bill and his legacy are secure, but that doesn't mean he's resting on his past success. An artist, shaper, inventor, surfer, and icon, Bill Stewart's not slowing down anytime soon, and is always dreaming up new inventions, creations, and designs to shape the next wave of surfing. Bill, congratulations. It's a pleasure to have you join this wonderful group of people here. And I'll turn it over to
Before I turn this over to Bill, I'm going to have Vidya, right? She's going to present the award to him. Not a better way, huh?
Hey, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for buying my surfboards for the last 45 years. Most people have ridden at least one, I think. And also, I'd like to thank my friends from ISBHOF out of Dana Point. Stand up, ISBHOF, come on. And there in the back, we got Cody and Tony Savani, one of my greatest longboard team riders out of North Carolina. He's won over 100 surf contests. Phenomenal. I love that guy. He's got that East Coast hospitality, which is, maybe everybody should learn that. Anyway, also, I want to introduce my daughter and my son-in-law, Eric and Ashley Linus. They now own Stewart Surfboards. So, I still clean the toilets, but, you know, and this is Imiana, and this is Vivia, and that's Danger Monkey. Danger Monkey this is the new Stewart girls surf team that I'm starting. And they all surf, snow ski and snowboard, and you do it all. They do it all. Yeah, they are sponsored at a very young age. Anyway, thank you for being so patient, and thank you for everybody that came here to, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Now, is Don Ramsey still hanging out here somewhere? Don Ramsey, okay, come on up. He doesn't know this yet, but he's going to accept for our next inductee, who's Don Uchimura. Now, Don Uchimura, he passed away several years ago. Yeah, you're going to do it. Don Uchimura is a very interesting guy. And you're Don right now. You're Don. That's why we're doing this. So we'll let you take the award. Where's our, come on, Miss Huntington Beach, get up here, come on. Don't be just sitting around looking pretty, you gotta do your job. You're wowing the boys over there. So, anyway, not many of you will know about Don Uchimura. Don Uchimura started shaping surfboards back in the 1940s on the island of Maui. Before that, he was stationed at Schofield Barracks during the bombing of Pearl Harbor. He then became a member of the 442 Regiment, which was an all second-generation Japanese-American fighting group. Their motto was, "Go for broke." In fact, I think they made a movie about that group. Don was injured during the Battle of Monte Cassino and sent home. In 1946, he began weightlifting and became Mr. Hawaii. He and his brother started the Ho'okipa Surf Club. Don became good friends with one of our former inductees, Woody Brown. Don and Woody discovered many of the unknown surf spots on the island of Maui, and they were the first ones to surf them. Don, according to my good friend Steve Neal, was one of the first surfers, or the first surfer to surf Honolulu Bay. Don owned a sign shop in Wailuku. He actually carried my Maui model surfboards. In fact, he had the very first Maui model ever made. Don, thank you for your service, and welcome to the ISBHOF.
Thank you very much, and on behalf of Don Uchimura, Don Ramsey accepts this award for him, and I'm stoked.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's see, we're almost done. That's it? Oh, no. We got to bring up one more thing. I've got to get my notes here again. Almost done. I'm going to get the right page. Well. In closing, now we need to get a group photo. Can we get everybody up here in the light and get a group photo?
How's this elite club of surfboard building icons? We are done.
In closing, Mike and I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Kaloha Ukulele Club, who provides us with that wonderful Hawaiian pre-lit music every year. Let's hear it for the Kaloha Ukulele Club. Our own Kevin Ashford, who stepped into some pretty big shoes and handled it pretty well today. Kalani Akui. Greg Tama, chief of the OC, our drummer. We'd like to thank Mayor Carr and the City of Huntington Beach, the International Surfing Museum.
Long time.
Yeah, okay. The Downtown Bid, our board members, Corky Carroll, Leilon Connolly, Dave Garofalo, and Matt Liffring, who keep the public informed about this event. Says, I got you in there, didn't I? Wherever you went, Dave. Wonderful newspaper articles and TV videos, our sponsors, all of the local volunteers who have pitched in to help, all of the photographers who make sure we get great pictures every year, but most of all, we want to thank all of you who came to support this great event every year. And I'd like to recognize our webmaster, Ray Bond, who does a fantastic job. And now we have, Tom Morey. Oh my gosh, look at this. It doesn't get much better than that, does it, Tom? Turn around, wave at the crowd over there, Tom. Past inductee, Tom Morey Boogie Boards, you name it. Morey Pope, split boards, all kinds of stuff. He was doing the hollow boards before anybody else. And I'll tell you a story that Tom may or may not remember, but years ago, Tom Morey and I sat on the beach right here on the north side of the pier on the edge of the sand, and he taught me about surfboard design. I just listened. And he's a brilliant man. What can I tell you? So good to have him. Now we have, Yeah. And Kim Carr, are you still here? We got some awards Kim's going to give out from the city. Kim, here, take this and tell them what you're doing.
Really, on behalf of the city, the entire city council, we have proclamations for all of our inductees today. So I will not make you get up, because I know you've been going up and down. So I'll hand each one to Will Allison, Gene Cooper, Walter Hoffman, Mark Richards, Ed Sakel, Bill Stewart, and then the family representing Don Uchimura. So thank you all. The city thanks you as well. We're really honored to have you here. We're so grateful for making our surfers look amazing here in Surf City. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor Park. And if you want to keep up what's happening in the ISBHOF, go to ISBHOF.com. Ray does a phenomenal job on that website. And I hope we got everybody in. I hope we recognize anybody. And having Tom Morey here show up is really something else. Yeah, I'm going to get them all out. And don't forget, there is a little after party up at the Surf Museum immediately after this induction if you want to come up and mingle with some of these guys. And if you haven't purchased your collector t-shirt for this year, go up and get one. And remember, we have no budget. And we'll see you next year for our 22nd annual induction. It will be something else. We're already planning it. We've got more surprises in mind, but we're going to get these guys up in front for a group shot. Hey guys, can you come on out in front and stand on the red carpet or just in front? We're going to get a group shot for everybody.
Hey, and after the event, don't be afraid to come up and talk story with these guys, because they love to talk story. And you're not going to get another chance unless you come up now and do it, or see them at the after party.